down all of the words of the Mezakim and all the words of the Mechayvim, all those words of those who felt that the person is innocent and those who felt he was guilty. And everything was recorded by the Sofrei Bezin, by the Sofra. But the Gemara says that based upon what was recorded and heard on Erev Shabbos, we cannot have a Gemara Din on Sunday. Why? Liebe de Inshe Anshi. That means the heart of human beings forgets. The heart forgets. The Rebbe says, the mind doesn't forget. These were brilliant people, and everything was written. And they could read the record of Bezdin. But the Rebbe says, the mind is able to have oisa hayediyah, that knowledge, that information. But the heart doesn't feel the chiyas of looking at that Jew who's sitting there between life and death. The Rebbe says that even though, the Gemara says that even though all of the reasons for the discussions and the dinim, everything was written, they still don't have the taste of Erev Shabbos, the taste of the Peiros, the taste of life, the taste of the Eitz HaChayim. So too, when we came to drink the waters by Mara, we couldn't drink the water, they were bitter. He says, yesterday Hashem showed us that when we crossed through the Yam Suf, what we knew then and what we were singing then was filled with cheshik and chayim. This feeling that Bnei Yisrael had when they came to Mara is something that every sincere Oved Hashem has felt in his life. Every single sincere Ben Torah, every Oved Hashem, everyone who's trying be'emes, has felt this. What happened? When I started off, I was so excited about Tshuva. Feels this in a very, very, very painful, a very deep and painful way. How many times I've had these conversations with Bali Tshuva, Rebbe, it was so exciting, everything was new, everything was fresh. But now, I can't drink the water anymore. Of Torah, of Yiddishkeit, I can't drink the water anymore. That something happened in my life, a churban happened in my life, and nitol tam ha'peiros, and the taste of the fruit, the taste of Torah, the taste of Yiddishkeit, which I believe, I understand in my head. I understand that it's mesukim midvash, v'noifes. I understand it's the sweetest thing in the world, but I don't feel it. To me, it's morim hein. And we try a desperate kind of avodah. You tell a yeshiva bacher, try for one day. Try for a half hour. Try for 10 minutes when you're walking in the summer, not to look at the wrong thing. Try one day without looking on the machine, the wrong thing. It's so hard, ki morim hein. And to sit with your head in the Gemara with the Tosfos, it's morim hein. So what do we do about this? So it says, Vayereyu Hashem eitz. You look in Targum, and Chazal tell us, Vayereyu Hashem eitz means that Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu an eitz, which means an eitzah. So Baruch Shalom gives an eitzah for each and every one of us. Vayereyu Hashem eitz. Vayashlech elamai vayimteku hamoyim. And he threw this into the bitter waters. Vayimteku hamoyim, and the waters became sweet. the sweetness of Torah, the sweetness of Yiddishkeit became revealed somehow through this eitzah, through this eitz that was thrown into the bitter water. And the Svarim HaKadoshim talk about this eitz. What is this eitz? Now you know that when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Schusi again Elena, then Rabbi Shimon went into the cave. You know that the Borei Olam created, there was a nation, Hashem created a tree to sustain him, to take care of him, to give him life during those coming years. What kind of a tree was it, Kevin? Huh? Boxer, Karab, Cheruvim. And there was a Mayin. There was a spring of water, and there was an eitz, a tree. Boxer, a tree, Karab, the thing in the brown paper bed. Vayirei Hashem eitz. Hashem is going to show Rabbi Shimon this tree, and a Mayin, and a wellspring of water, of Mayin. Why Davke Cheruvim? Why Davke Cheruvim? So the Gemara in Tanis, I think everybody knows the story of Chania Magel and Avchav Gimel. And you know that Chania Magel saw a Jew that was planting Cheruvim, right? He was planting carob trees. And Chania Magel asked him, "What are you bothering with this? This only gives fruit after 70 years." And the Jew said, "Ano alma b'cheruv ashkechei." I came to a world and I found that in the world there were cheruvim. When I came into the world, means my father, my grandfather, they planted cheruvim so that I found them in my life, in my world. So ano nami ashkel banoi. So I too am planting for the future. So you know the story of Chania Magel and sleeping for 70 years, the 70 years of Golus, how you look at Cholmim. Why is it that Chania Magel was shown this Indian before the whole Gilui of the 70 years? Which means, how is it possible for a Jew to survive the Golus that he's in, that time between the first and second, that time of Churban, the time of sleeping, the time of bitterness, the time in the cave? Why did Hashem create such a tree, such pears? That takes 70 years, the union of Golus. The union of life in Golus. Why did Hashem create such a tree? That you have to wait so many years till finally, maybe, to have a taste of the pears. So you know, Chevra, Tu B'Shvat is Rosh Hashanah Le'ilon. Le'ilon. And Le'ilon, that's in the singular, is because Ki Ha'adam Eitz HaSodeh. Because Ki Ha'adam Eitz HaSodeh, man is compared to the tree of the field. And there are some Jews that in their Yiddishkeit, they're able to see Paris after a year, after 2 years, they're able to see Gewaldige Paris. They're able to see in their learning, in their Avoid, in their Midas, in their davening, they're able to see Paris very, very quickly. And then there are other Jews who for 70 years, they get up and they daven, and they go to Mincha Ma'ariv, and they say Kriya Shema Lamita, and they learn and they try, and they learn and they try, and they struggle to be good, not to be nirshal. And they're trying so hard, and sometimes they fail and they start again. 70 years they're trying, and they're going and Yemeshna Seina Behem Shivim Shona, and they don't see yet the payers of what they're doing. So these are Jews who are chayvshim, they're plowing, and they're zoyrim, and they're planting, and they're involved in all the avodas of zoyim, of being zoymer, of pruning, everything. Charisha, the Zriya, means all the years of going through so many nisyanis, and so many winters, and so many disappointments, and so many failures, and so many attempts to start again. And every minute they're waiting, when am I going to taste what it says in the Svarim? I read something to Kedushas Levi. I saw something in this Sefer. I saw something what it says about Shabbos. I don't feel it on Shabbos. What it says about Torah, I don't feel it. Torah is morim. Hey, Shabbos, you look at a typical shul, Jews are waiting. When can they get out of shul? How late can they come to shul? How early can they get out of shul? How late can I come to Seder? How early can I get out of Seder? How big is the Ben Hazmanim? How can I make it a bigger Ben Hazmanim? And say the truth is it's bitter. And I'm trying, I'm being Zayreya, I'm Chayrish, and Zayreya. All the avodas hakarka. All the avodas that the Rishon told me I should do. And I'm waiting to taste the time. I'm waiting for some taste of the beauty of Yiddishkeit. All the Svarim promised me this. And how many Rabbanim and Rosh Hashivas and Rebbeim are telling us, and they mean it, and they're telling the truth. They say, don't worry, keep on doing it, it'll be good. Be good? I don't know, it's not good. It's going to be gewaldig. And we're so tmimistic, we don't ask the Rebbeim, do you always find it so gewaldig? How gewaldig do you find it? Because we're tmimistic. A little bit harivna. Every morning you say a bracha, we ask Hashem, harivna Hashem Elokeinu. Not harivna because you heard a gewaldige chiddush, so for 1 hour you're on fire. But harivna on a boring, dark, snowy, rainy Tuesday in Shvat, in Teves in Shvat. Harivna. That my children should grow up in a home with parents who are on fire with Yiddishkeit. That we plant for them such trees. But the mitzias of Eloyach Lishtos Mayim Kimorim Hain. So at some point, many of the Chevra lose hope. And even though Rabbi Nachman said, and the true tzaddikim all said, Ein shum yesh b'olam klal. The emes is that Ein shum yesh b'olam, a person understands Ein shum yesh b'olam klal, but the feeling that people have is yesh v'yesh, yesh b'olam. The Tikkun Isaiah says that in the body there are 4 moros, 4 types of bile, of poison. You know how the body processes all the stuff. So there are 4 moros. I don't know in biology what that means, 4 moros. But it says in the Tikkunim that there are 4 moros. There's white, there's red, there's green, and there's black. And these 4 moros correspond to the 4 gullies. It says in Svarim that these 4 types of poison in the body correspond to the 4 exiles. And the Svarim say that the last exile that we're in is the Morish Chayr, is the black bile of the body, which is the most difficult of all the Moros. It means when a person simply does not feel a simchas achai and feels overwhelmed by a reality of kimorim hein. And this generation, even though the generation has a better life than any of our grandparents, grandparents, that our lives are so much easier, so much better than our parents and grandparents, but never before has there been such a Marish Chayr. The whole generation's a Marish Chayridik generation. Young people walking around with their heads down, people that can't get up in the morning. I grew up in a house where at 5:30, quarter to 6 on a Sunday, my father's banging on the door, saying, "What are you lying there? What's the matter with you?" I said, "It's Sunday." My father said, "What's Sunday? What's the nafka? Sunday. What are you lying there?" But there were only 10 Jews in the whole place that went to the 6 o'clock minyan on a Sunday, and it was my mazel. Now, if you're telling me that there's something at 6 o'clock that I'm excited about, that I'm waiting for, each person can describe and think about whatever that is to you. If that's waiting for you at 6 o'clock in the morning, then you're not able to sleep the whole night. But to get to minyan, the whole generation is more shchayra, not just by Jews, lahavdil, but umas ha'olam, the medication, the depression. It's unbelievable. Marish Chayr, the fourth Golus of Edom. So let's now come to the Maskana.